Hola peoples. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. As you can see, it's some of our the pottery experience that we have there in Medellin as well. Today I'm joined by my co-host Veronica, who is our local destination expert who's based in Medellin as well. Thanks for joining us, Veronica. She's actually over in Ireland at the moment. As you can see, very dark at night there at this point in time. What time is it there just now, Veronica? Like 10 o'clock?
Right now is it's 20 to 4 p.m.
20 to 4 p.m.
Yeah.
20 to 4.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, okay, so today we're diving into Medellin. I'm going to jump over here to this one right here and show you what we're talking about today. What we're going to be talking about today. We have got this overview of today here right in front of your index. We're going to be jumping in, talking about the activities in and around Medellin, best restaurants, cafes, bars, best areas to stay, which are often close to the best restaurant, best venues for event, just touching base on that one really. We're talking about the climate, best time to travel, best international domestic flights, because there's a lot of direct flights going to Medellin. As long with that, we've also got the ground transportation, as in, what transportation we recommend using and how long it takes you to get from point A to point B. And of course, the do's and don'ts, which are all very important for everywhere in Colombia. Now, if I jump back, now today we're going to start a little bit different this time. Today we are going to talk. Veronica is going to be doing an introduction. Her introduction on Medellin, as she was born, raised there, lived for a little bit in Viterbo and lived in a number of other countries as well. But Medellin is her home, and this is where she is now. And so I'll hand it over to you now, Veronica. And so, Maria, do you mind stopping? Yep, perfecto. Tell us all about it.
Hello, hola todos, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are at the moment. As Ruth said, I'm traveling myself at the moment, so apologies for the background noise. I'm gonna try to talk as loud as I can so you understand what I'm saying. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Bruce, for giving me the opportunity to talk about my beloved city. I am Veronica. I have to say that I was proudly born and raised in Medellin, the city of eternal spring. That's how Medellin is well known for our weather. But I also think, or I would say, that it also reflects our spirit. We're always blooming, we're always moving forward, and we're always surprised. Now, if you have heard of Medellin in the past, you might have thought of flowers, yes, maybe of transformation, urban transformation mainly, and also, of course, about our complicated past. But today, I want to talk to you about Medellin from a local point of view, how we perceive and how we live and how we feel the city on a daily basis. So for us as locals, we would say that Medellin is not just a comeback story. I would say locals, we say we are a creation in progress. We are creating the city and ourselves every day. Most of you must know that Medellin is known or is being featured in documentaries about urban transformation, and that's true also, but we have come a long way. We don't define ourselves by all the things we have overcome. I think we define ourselves by how we build the city together every day. For example, Comuna 13 is a great example. It was one of the most dangerous areas in Latin America at some point. I have to tell you that I live very close from Comuna 13, perhaps 45 minutes walking distance. and I have seen the change. It has affected the area as well, the neighborhood, not just around the Comuna 13, but it expands to other neighborhoods like mine. And yeah, you feel it's safer, it's well, I mean, it's really nice to walk around there now. You feel safe. Neighbor people is very welcoming, so it's fine to go there now. No safety concerns, at least during the day. Of course, I wouldn't advise you to go there on your own in the evening, but during the day, it's a fantastic place to visit. The Comuna 13 has the first outdoor escalators. It's also a community of leadership and community where you see almost everybody around there dancing. We Latinos and Colombians, we love dancing. So don't get surprised if you come visit and you see people dancing almost everywhere, even queuing up waiting for the tail at the supermarket. Comuna 13, for example, when you throw to it, you're just not taking a tour. You're stepping into a living artwork and of resilience. You will get to know the story of this neighborhood through murals, paintings, and through talking to the neighbors and all the art galleries and shops that you have over there. Other feature that we have here in Medellin that makes us very proud of is our metro system. You might think, oh, yes, okay, every major city in this world have almost every major city has transport, metro, no big deal. But for us, it's more than a public transport. It's also part of our pride. Metro, I would say, is almost a sacred thing for us. It is clean, not because of the rules, but because we really honor it. You'll never see a graffiti or garbage because it represents more than just transit. It also, as I told you, represents our dignity somehow. So for you guys, if you haven't ever been here or if you have been in the past, I would say that Medellin for us locals is more than a city. Medellin is a feeling. Let me tell you something that visitors or travelers often say about Medellin when they spend a few days here. And it's something like, I thought I came to see a city, but I ended up falling in love with the people. And that's Medellin. We are paisas. That's how we are known in Colombia, paisas. We talk fast, but we also hug tight, and we always find, as I was telling you before, a way to dance. We love music, from tango, salsa to reggaeton, the sounds of birds at 6 a.m. in the mountains or around the city. Medellin is also a green city, so you see trees and flowers everywhere. One of my favorite traditions in Medellin is the Flores, la Feria de las Flores, or the Flower Festival, where we have the parade with our piñateros. Piñateros are the guys you see there hanging or supporting all the way of those flowers on their back. Is really something to see. It happens in the month of August every single year, and it's really something very special to see. We don't need, I would say here, we don't need big shows to connect, really. We share a cup of tinto. Tinto for us is Americano or a cup of coffee. I know tinto for wine countries like Spain, for example, Chile, it means red wine. For us, means cup of coffee. We just need a cup of tinto and a conversation on a balcony, and that's enough for us to feel part of a neighborhood. I will say that Medellin is not just a tourist spot. I would say Medellin is a city full of surprises. We have famous places, of course, like the place I already told you about or mentioned about, where you can, but I will encourage you also just do the touristy thing that you see everywhere. I will encourage you to visit, do different things. For example, when you take the metro, go take a ride in the metro cable and get off at Santo Domingo station, go for a walk, talk to the locals, buy a juice, some food. People are very welcoming. Sure, they're gonna make you feel really welcome. They're gonna be very friendly and they're willing to help you. Explore also the Plaza de Botero with Botero's big sculptures. Visit the Parque RB, where you can go also when you take the ride in one of the cables cars. You can go all the way to RB Park. And it's a very nice natural area where you can walk, do some bird watching, eat our traditional food as well, sweets and salty foods, bandeja paisa, arepas, solteritas, obleas. So also, if you're in Medellin, go to the botanical gardens. It's not huge. There is a place where you can go and sit for a while, have a cup of coffee, talk to your friends, or just enjoy the scenery. If you come to Medellin during the Feria de las Flores, or the flower parade, you go to the botanic gardens and you see a magnificent exhibition of birds and also orchids. You see our national flower is an orchid. You see it there in the botanical garden, even if you come during different months, it's always there. It blossoms most of the year, so it's a good chance for you to see it. And why not enjoy our food? Our food is simple, but it's very generous and is honest. Try a fresh arepa with butter and cheese. Arepa is a thick tortilla that you can eat with just a pinch of salt, butter, and it's delicious. And you can top it up with whatever you want. Or take a bowl of sancocho that will fix almost any bad day you're having. So just don't come to Medellin to take pictures. That's my advice. Come to feel inspired. See how a city can turn challenge into innovation, sadness into celebration, and concrete into color. So I invite you to visit us. We're just not a hub for digital nomads. We also invite everybody, creative professionals, eco-tourists, curious travelers looking for meaningful experiences. So if you want to learn Spanish, we have that for you. If you want to go and do some paragliding, also look at the image. We have fantastic opportunities for you to do that. Or if you want to understand a real story of transformation and go beyond the headlines, you can come here and experience Comuna 13 or different activities like Moravia, which once was a garbage dump, and now the place has transformed immensely. And also go to Manrique. It's a similar experience to Comuna 13, but it's not as touristy just yet. And it's a great experience for you to also get to know how that neighborhood has also come along a long way in difficult times. So that's all I have to share with you guys for now. But I'll be here if you have any questions. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, apologies for the background and thank you.
Gracias. Okay, so now diving in, this is our website here that you would have seen before. You can see from the packages up here, this is our normal home page, and you've got the modules here. Clicking on this, you'll see all the modules that we have currently available. Now, these do change. We do update them from time to time. But what I really want to show you is the easiest way to navigate, through here, which is with the Colombia presentation. This is for those people who don't understand exactly where everything is in Colombia. Because with our slight map that we've got here, we just click on Medellin because we're focusing on Medellin today, diving in, and this is a simple way to go and click on city, and you'll get to know more info about the city. What this does, this opens up the same module that you would see here if you clicked on the modules from their packages from the home page. From this point now, you will click on user-friendly view because it is so much friendlier to view this way. And as you can see, why? Because it's got all the optional tours here as well. as these different suggested tours for the first 4 days if you're doing a 4-day tour. Now, in case you didn't realize, we do these modules so that you can customize them. We customize them based on the interests of the different travelers. So depending on what they want to do, what they want to see, we'll take a couple of tours from here, a couple of tours from there, and mix and match and create the perfect itinerary based on the interest of those travelers. This is just one of the little videos that we have here that we've put together for you to see a little bit about Medellin. So the idea of this module is to customize it, as I keep saying, is to customize it to make it the best for you. And depending on your arrival time, Mandalay is a great organic farm to stop at from the airport on the way to your hotel. As you'll know, most countries check-in for a hotel is around about 3 o'clock. So what happens with this one is if your flight is early, this is a great stop along the way. You go here, can do a cooking class with these people, walk through the organic farm, beautiful experience just outside of Medellin. So it's lots of nature, lots of trees. It's a wonderful way to start your experience in Medellin. Now, this here is actually 3 tours that we can combine into one. The city tour, if you come into Medellin, the city tour is basically a must. Comuna 13 is also a must. When I say Comuna 13, I should say 13. Speak in English a little bit more will be better. Okay, so Comuna 13 is, this tour is, it's the good, the bad, the ugly, not of just Medellin, but of Colombia. With the city tour, you get to see some really nice places, some of the Parques del Rio, Barefoot Park, where you take your feet off, take your shoes off, walk around there. It's a really nice experience. It's a wonderful, wonderful location. And you also get to see the places of the administrative places, you know, the City Hall, Civic Center. You get to see some heritage buildings, etc., as you can see. Now, these are important places for Colombianos, for Medellin people in Medellin. Okay, so in the city tour, you get to go through all of these places, along with going to Botero Plaza. Botero, if you didn't know, he's one of the most famous Colombians ever. He is a famous sculptor and painter. He is somebody who likes people, curvy people. I don't want to say fat or overweight, so I won't repeat those words again, but the rounder people with those rounder edges like this. This is his thing. He likes those, and he's world famous. There's an actual plaza dedicated to him. There's a museum with a lot of his sculptures. We've also got another Botero museum in Bogota as well, if you'd like to see more. Now, that is just some of the highlights of Medellin. But as I said, there's also the ugly parts. Parque Memorial Inflection. The Inflection is a place that used to be the Monaco building. It was a 6-story apartment building built by Pablo Escobar, which was lived in just by Pablo Escobar, and of course his little mini army. So that was his place. He was bombed by the Cali cartel in '92, about a year before he was finally killed by the army here, or the police, I should say. So that was torn down, as you can see, in 2019. Finally, it was torn down in 2019. And as I said, it was bombed in 1990, sorry. It was torn down in 2019 by the city, Medellin City, and what they've done is created a park there. So it's a monument to the thousands of people who, not just the people who are hurt mentally, physically a little bit, but the 3,000-4,000 people who were murdered by this person in particular, including, you know, a plane load of people, including babies and children, etc. So this is part of the ugly side of Colombia that you get to see here, as opposed to Comuna 13. Comuna 13 used to be a dangerous neighborhood, used to be the most dangerous neighborhood in Medellin, if not all of Colombia, mainly because of its proximity, or where it is on the side of Medellin. Not quite, it's still on the side of Medellin, but not as it was before. Like 15 years ago, you couldn't have gone here. It's just was too dangerous. It's land that has been fought over for a few decades and decades. Basically because it's where all the cocaine would go out and all the guns would come in because it's close to the Pacific coast. Now these people, the locals, are fighting. They want their own life. They want a safe place for their family. You'll see a lot of music there. You'll see graffiti. You'll see, when I say graffiti here, it's murals. So you'll get to see things and you'll understand the stories behind the graffitis or the murals that you'll be looking at as well, to understand what these people have gone through and how they're trying to use tourism in a way to get out of that negative past that parts of Colombia has. Guatapé is a fantastic location. Doesn't have to be included with a coffee plantation, but we can. Guatapé can be a location that we can take you with for a coffee plantation with coffee. You can go horse riding as well. We could take you to ceramics. You can do a pottery class. You could do a cacao tour also. Lots of things. You can go on a boat ride on the lake. But the real reason why most people will go there, not just for spectacular view, but to climb the 700 odd steps up here all the way to the top. This view here is from the top, but you don't have to go all the way up there. You can't quite see, but actually just here. So a lot of our travelers are over 50s. The majority, actually, I'd say, were over 50. So not everybody has the knees and ankles and hips that can take those 700 odd steps up there. Luckily, you don't need to, because there's spectacular views from here as well. So this is a bit of a close-up from it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful rock. And this is Guatapé town. Extremely colourful town. I'll see if I've got some more photos there. Not there. We'll jump over here. See if we've got some more photos in here of Guatapé town to show you. Zoom through. This is the sort of thing that you're going to be seeing. It's a place where you could go there every week and there'll be something different to see there in the town. There's beautiful little colourful town. Anyway, okay, that's enough of that. So Guatapé there, Guatapé rock, Medellin flowers, citatelos. This is something that Veronica mentioned as well. Usually in August, sometimes late July, okay, which also coincides. There's a flower festival, I should say. Flower festival last week in July or first week or 2 weeks in August. So it's an international thing. People come from other countries just to come and see this. During the months of pretty much June to November, August, October, late October, the flowers in the fields are spectacular. Outside of those months, it's still beautiful because you still get to make these cigateras, these here. The person who's carrying it is a cigatero. This is a cigatera. Okay, so you actually get to make this arrangement yourself as well. So it's something that's a lot of people like, of all ages. It's a really beautiful, it smells wonderful too, by the way. But it's a great tour to do there. We can combine this with a coffee tour, so it can be a combined like 7-8 hour tour, realistically. Got some amazing restaurants in Medellin as well. We'll talk about that shortly. Optional tours, constellaciones. This is, as Veronica was saying, it's not as touristy as Comuna 13. So if you want somewhere colorful as well, it's got a different history as well. This one is, the story behind this place is more about, I'd say, immigration to a point, but it's also, this neighborhood was created from people who are displaced from other areas, other locations in Colombia, displaced basically because of war. So in order to find a place that's safe for their family to grow, they've come here, they built this neighborhood, and it's got some beautiful murals around there. And you'll find some of these murals with some of the people who created this neighborhood. It's not an old neighborhood. It's only like around about 30 odd years old. So it's not old at all, but some of the images you'll find on here are of actually the locals who have helped create something that is really encouraging for the future generations. But it is, walking around here is really quite picturesque. You get beautiful views as well. We can also add just by chance, add like a little arepa tour. Arepa wasn't making arepas like in cooking tour, and arepas are like a cornbread, I suppose you could say, flat cornbread. So we can actually include something like that in this tour at Constellaciones. Bike tour, there's e-bikes, so electronic bikes for those people that don't know what the E stands for. So this is some of the different destinations that you can go. So it makes life easy. Obviously, you want to get out. As Veronica mentioned, weather is spectacular most of the time in Medellin. So a bike ride around the city is beautiful. A bee tour, if you're into bees, even if you're not into bees, it can be fun to learn about bees and honey and the whole process, which you can do. This one here, if I recall correctly, is in Retiro. That's right, Veronica? I think it's a place where it's close.
Yeah, that is correct. It's in El Retiro.
El Retiro, which is around about 40 odd minutes outside of Medellin. Oh, about an hour, sorry.
No, it's about 50 minutes. Yeah.
50 minutes. Perfect. So we can do this sort of tour, and it's not like on the way to the airport, but it can, can add that inner destination, can be a tour there on your way to the airport if you've got a late flight, or vice versa if you're flying in early. There's salsa classes, all sorts of classes, music classes, dancing classes. We do private classes as well. This is the ceramics that I was mentioning before. So this is something that can be combined with a tour on the way to Guatapé. We can do ceramics tour and combine that with flowers. We can do ceramics and coffee. It can be a mix of different tours. This is around about a 3 to 4 hour tour. Your whatever pottery you make will not be ready. It won't be dry. It won't be ready for you to take with you. So if you want, you can do something like this. You do it, I'd suggest, on day 1, day 2 of arrival. And if you like, what we can do is ship it to the next destination you are in Colombia. Or if you're still in Medellin, we can ship it there as well. Okay, carrying on down, and here's the coffee tour I was mentioning. Okay, it's a great coffee tour, beautiful coffee tour. Learn everything, seed to suck, seed to cup. So the whole thing. You're going to pick a few beans yourself. You can, depending on the time of day, we might go and put a bit of lunch on there for you as well. Wonderful tour, which can be combined with others. Cacao tour as well. We do cacao tours in different destinations. In Colombia, as you may know, this one, once again, seed to cup. Once again, you're going to do the roasting of everything. This particular location, you'll also find a few monkeys in the trees as well in Barbosa. This is where you're drying actually the cacao, which will later on become chocolate. Okay. This is one of the, what do you say, newer neighborhoods. Yeah, newer neighborhoods for tourism in Medellin. So this particular tour, it's not the traditional coffee tour in that this is very modern. Most of the tours that we do in Colombia for coffee-wise are very much the artisan way, where you're going to be drying everything, or they're going to be drying the beans, then you're going to be roasting them in open fire. But here, as you can see, we've actually got a roaster. Now, this is a modern way, so this is all for exportation, or can be for the Colombian market, but you find that most of the coffee, which is for exportation, is at a higher level. So we can do like a cupping, like a proper coffee tasting cupping experience here in this location. And of course, you can do a dance class here as well, because, Medellin, as Veronica mentioned as well, is a place of music, a place of love, it's a place of color, and people dance everywhere. It's, if you want somewhere quiet, somewhere relaxing, we take you into nature. But in reality, if you're going to be in Medellin itself, you're going to be hearing music, which is a wonderful thing to do, to listen to dance to, everything about it. Wonderful. Okay, here we go, jumping into extreme experiences around Medellin. Okay, Rio Claro, a couple of hours away, 3 hours realistically. So often people will actually go and stay overnight when going there, but there are a few different extreme things. You go caving, rafting, I think you go rappelling as well. all in Rio Claro. It's a really nice location. You can also down in Corcoran, rappelling in Corcoran. This one here, in case you didn't know what rappelling is, it is going down a waterfall like this. There is a limit, weight limit for this to 90 kilograms, which is around about, I think I've got it written here, it is nearly 200 pounds. Okay, so 200 pounds weight limit for this, but this can also be combined with other ones. Some of these extreme sports can be combined with other ones. This particular one can be combined, well, yeah, ATV could combine it with that because it's in the similar direction, I should say. This one's actually close to the airport in Rio Negro, so can get straight off a plane, and if you want to sit on a 4x4, hop on one of these, go for an awesome ride. This is one of the river rafting ones that I said. This is in the same area as the rappelling, so you could actually do this. This is like we can do level 3 or level 4 rafting in this area, and paragliding. We can't do all 3 in the same day, but you could do paragliding and rafting, or paragliding and rappelling if you wish. These all are in the same area. Having said that, there's another location closer to Medellin as well that we could just do paragliding. There's 2 different locations that we can do it there. Horse riding, this is somewhere, this isn't too far from the airport as well. So once again, if you want to get into some fresh air, breathe some fresh air after being stuck in an airplane for however many hours, this is not a bad idea at all. There's optional tours that we do here, like little 2-3 day packages. So going to Guatapé, then staying the night, doing a coffee tour, following day, going and doing a cacao tour. So you can combine things that way if you want to go that little bit of extra distance, because it is 90 minutes to 2 hours to get to Guatapé. So it can be a good idea to stay the night if you want to, to really enjoy the area. There's some beautiful hotels here, by the way. This is the Brown, I think, if I recall correctly. It's a beautiful hotel. There's a number of really nice hotels, and every year, every few months, it feels like they're really opening a new wonderful hotel in Guatapé. Different direction, Hideko and Jardin. I'm going to open up the map for a second. Okay, we've got Hideko. Just to explain this a little bit better for you. Zoom out a bit more. Okay, we've got Medellin here. When I was talking about things before, we're talking about going, here's the ceramics, Rio Negro, which is the airport, Guatapé over here. Okay, so this is going to Guatapé here. You can stay the night. Go to San Rafael. We've got a cacao tour there. You could also go to Barbosa for a cacao tour over here. And it's sort of like a bit of a cacao tour that you can do in Guatapé also. But obviously it's in the town. So it doesn't necessarily have, you're not on a farm, if that makes sense. You're just learning how to make different chocolates, more or less. Okay, El Retiro is here, where you could do that bee tour. Going down to Hideko. Hideko, spectacular heritage town, as in Jardin. Okay, getting to Hideko is around about now, because there's been a lot of rain this year. Now it takes close to about 2.5 hours to get to Hideko. There's been a lot of rain. What I'm trying to say, has been a number of landslides. So a few roads are blocked. So getting here is around about 2.5 hours. You can also go to Jardin, which is another beautiful town. These are 2 beautiful towns, heritage towns, which you can do and see in 2 days. You go to Hideko, do a tour there for a few hours, get to see the town. It's a beautiful, colorful town. I keep saying the same words, but you understand it when you see it. Beautiful town. There's lots of coffee fields all the way around. And then carry on to Jardin for the night. Jardin, another spectacular town, is beautiful as well. It's different, similar sort of architecture, but the surroundings are different, very different. And you can actually go and see Jardin de Rocas, Galleta de Roca. This is the Jardin de Rocas. That's the name of the little park, which is just on the side of Jardin. So it's really a small little nature reserve, and you can basically 98% chance of seeing 1 or a dozen or more of these little fellas here, and they are just as pretty and as you're looking at them. They're really cool. It's really amazing. If you're a birder, Jardín is a spectacular location for birding. Okay, also do a 3-day option here. Same sort of thing, except what we do is going to Cueva del Esplendor. What's so cool about this place? There's a number of places around Jardín which are great little hikes to go and see, to enjoy. This one has got a waterfall inside a cave. Not something you see everywhere, and this is one of the locations that a lot of people will come to Medellin and go to Jardín just for this. Okay, that is pretty much everything that I can think of right now. That's all that's in our module for Medellin, for what we're sharing in Medellin. For what activities we've got there, I can't think of any other extreme sports or any other tours at this point in time. We have got a few different versions of the bike ride. So what we're going to talk about next, we are diving into the hotels, restaurants, where we like to place people. And so I'm just going to share my screen over here. And this is a map that one of my team, Miss Karina, went and put together for us earlier today. So this map here, you can see there's a bit of a cluster here. And that's because this, for me, is the best location to place the travelers. This is where the best restaurants are, the best hotels. This is 4 5-star hotels. You'll find other ones around here. This is Pueblito Paisa, which is a great destination place as well for take people. Tierra Bio Hotel, we actually take people there as well. You can see from this map some of the high points or highlights of where we actually take people also. Provenza, I should say, is sort of this area here. This is basically the best restaurants that you'll find in Medellin. But this whole area where you see all this yellow is sort of like restaurants, hotels, accommodation. If I zoom in, we'll probably see a lot more, but no need because you can see generally where the best places are. Special mentions would be York, Hotel York. This is sort of a high-end one. It says 4-star, 5-star realistically. Don't believe everything that you see on Google. This one here in sites, it says 3-star. It's not, it's 5-star also. So Hotel York, it's a high-end hotel. Great for incentive trips as well for groups of people, but good for more of that, I wouldn't say older crowd or over 50s crowd, that sort of thing, over 60s as well. Some nice restaurants are located around here also. But where we would generally place, where we often place people is around this area here, because from here it's easy to walk to a number of restaurants in Provenza. Here's a Marriott here, by the way, too, just in case you want to know. Dan, we've got, what's that? Castillo, where's the Bin Hotel is around about here also, which I can't see it right now. Bin is a favorite hotel of mine at this point in time. What else? So we've got the hotels. You can see basically, generally, it's pretty easy. And we'll be able to help you with choosing where to stay. And you can also see the Olaja Airport here isn't too far. So if you get a flight going here, which would be with Click Air, as opposed to Avianca or Latam, this is where you'll be flying into. Now, while I jump back here for a second, when is the best time to travel to Medellin? Sure. And why? Okay. Okay, so this is one of the pages that you'll find on our website as well. We have these different pages on the different climate and weather patterns in different locations throughout Colombia. You can find them on the website. In the city guide, which I'll be sharing with everybody also who's signed up to watch these webinars, I'll be sending a copy of the city guide out, which has links to these different pages on the website that we're going to refer to. Now, if you can stop right there, but a little bit, you can see here, the dry season in the driest time of the year to travel to Medellin is, back down a little bit, down, just stop right there. Okay, is December to March. Okay, that's the driest time to travel. So you still want to have a thin coat realistically. Look, when you're traveling around Colombia, you want something thin. Travel with layers. If you're going to Bogota, obviously you need layers there. It's colder, but you can also get a little bit cool in the evening here in Medellin. Not cold by any means, but take a thin jacket just in case, even in December, January, February, or March. But as you can see from that, the millimeters or the inches, depending on where you're watching from, are really low that time of year. It's never like, well, no, there can be the wet season, like April, May, June, September, October, November. Okay, that's the wet. And you can see that right here. Having said that, it doesn't like rain all day, every day. Traditionally, I should say. Having said that, I keep repeating, having said that, don't need to. There's climate change happening. There's global warming. So things do change. There's been a lot of rain earlier this year. We're in July now. It's dried up quite a bit now. July, while we're recording this at this point in time. But May, June, there was a lot. So it would still be a great time to come to Colombia because it doesn't rain all day, every day. Now, Miss Veronica, you have been living there for how many years? A number of decades. We won't get into how many decades. But
yeah,
your thoughts?
I won't reveal you my age, but yes,
No.
quite a few decades. And yes, the weather has changed a lot. Before it was very predictable. For sure, we could tell you that the rainy season was April, basically, and October. But now we have to be prepared for some showers at any time, any month. We just don't know now. But still, the weather is always great in Medellin. It doesn't matter if it rains a little bit, you still can do the activities you want to do, really.
And that's, as we all know, it's called the City of Spring because it's just like perfect weather all year long. It used to be an average of around about 26 odd degrees, but the council, or they went and planted 1 million odd plants and trees over a course of a couple of years. And what that's done with all these extra vegetation, as well as cleaning up a lot of the pollution, it's actually dropped the temperature in Medellin down by approximately 2 degrees Celsius. So that means it's about an average of 24 now, which is just beautiful, perfect temperature all year long. Now, high seasons, same as basically the dry season, more or less. December, January, February. March isn't so high, and February isn't quite as high as well. So if you want to travel in shoulder seasons, those are great. February, March is also April as well, when Semana Santa, which is Easter for everybody else. July, August, as we've mentioned before, touched on before, the Flower Festival is always July and August. July or August. Runs for about a week, but there's a lot of people here. And because a good 90% of the tourism here in Colombia comes from the USA. So basically the high seasons here coincide with school holidays or university holidays, vacations, everything in the US. So just to keep in mind. Now let's dive over to flights. Now, my favorite, one second, I'm just going to open up a page here myself. So, actually, you can do it. Yeah, click. Fantastic. Thank you, Miss Maria. Okay, so as you can see, direct flights to Medellin go from everywhere. In the US, it's around about 3 hours or so. From Miami, around about 5 hours from New York. So we've got, after Bogota, Medellin would be the hub for the most international flights, but Bogota obviously number one. And you can even, get to Madrid. I think it's 10 hours? Yeah, 10 hours to get to Madrid from there, to a direct flight to Medellin. If you zoom in a bit, you'll be able to see that Medellin is basically probably the most connected place in Bogota for domestic flights after Bogota. Yeah. Medellin is the most connected place for domestic flights in Colombia after Bogota. That's what I was trying to say. Within a couple of hours, within an hour, 60 to 90 minutes, you can be in most locations in Colombia. It's always going to be second to Bogota, though. I've got to go and stress that there are a number of locations that you can go from Bogota, which you can't still get to from Medellin. So it's often a layover in Bogota, which obviously adds a bit to the time. And I'm going to go and open up. So 1 second, I am just going to open up that map of Colombia again, if I find where I was. Sorry for the delay. Well, I just find that because I want to talk about, sorry, Maria, I know I was going to ask you to do all of this, but I'm going to share screen again. So do you mind stopping your share screen? Here we go. Yep. Diving in. Maps right here. I just want to talk about land transport for a moment. So we're talking about Medellin here. Okay. So as you'd probably know watching this, that Medellin is somewhere that, well, Colombia is somewhere that we generally fly people to most destinations. If it's over 4 hours, then we're generally going to fly people. Medellin to Bogota, we're not going to drive you there. It's going to be a 40-minute flight. For to drive you, you're probably going to be around 18 odd hours. Pereira to Medellin. This now, because of a new tunnel that's been created here, we can do in about 5 hours. If we zoom in where I actually live here in Viterbo, it's only about 4 hours from me. So if you're going from Salento here, about 6 hours. Okay, from Medellin to Jericho, as I said before, 2.5 hours. To Jardín, about 3 hours. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to Guatapé. Santa Fe de Antioquia is another one that we're actually going to take people to, another tour, which I think I didn't mention before. This is a beautiful town as well. This is around about an hour, 60 minutes from there. We do sometimes take people down to Neiva. Okay, they'll go from Medellin to Neiva. It's a long trek. It takes around 16 odd hours, 16 to 18, I should say. So it's a long way, and we can also go to Papajan or Cali. Cali is obviously closer. It's around about 10, 12 hours there. Papajan is another couple of hours on top. Papajan is the white city, if you didn't know, but this is the place we take people to this area. Main reason is to go to San Agustin, which is for all the tombs and real history of the pre-Columbian stuff there, which is going to be another day. Okay, as I said before, our city guide has links to these different things, different articles that we have on our website. Now, there are some premium Michigan star restaurants in Medellin that you can find there. They have, the vast majority of these high-end ones will be a international / Colombian cuisine. But you can find some that are just such as Mexican. I don't really think of Mexican as high-end, but you can find Mexican restaurants there, as well as Argentinian restaurants, that sort of thing. But as we were talking about before, most are in Provincia, but in El Poblado, you'll find most of these restaurants. You'll find that we have two different blogs on our website. You'll find the links to them will be in the city guide as well. You'll find pretty much everything that you want to dine there, as well as these high-end ones in the city guide. You'll also find the more economical options for those travelers that don't want to dine out and spend a lot on their meals. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. I can't think of anything else. We've spoken about the climate. We've spoken about the weather and the climate, the hotels, restaurants. We've talked about all the activities that you can do there. I haven't received any questions at this point in time. Gracias to Veronica, who unfortunately has her internet has cut out, but thank you very much for joining us and for your introduction of Medellin. And if you can
Thank
stop
you.
sharing for a second. Oh, she's back. If you can stop sharing, I'll just say thank you, one and all. I'll be sending this video out to you next weekish. And if you have any questions in the meantime, please let us know. And gracias. Adios. Ciao, ciao.